Welcome to Urban Knife Guy, where we explore the urban knife style and jungle survival. Today we're going to have a look at the Marbles Camp Axe, a highly regarded budget hatchet. First, if you watch this channel regularly but have not subscribed, please do so by hitting the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. It will really help the channel out. Thanks. While I intend to use the Husqvarna 13 hatchet that I've modified and customized and showed in a previous video, I also ordered the Marbles Camp Axe as I know it is considered a great hatchet for the price. The Camp Axe is made in El Salvador, and from what I understand, it is made by Condor Knife Tools on behalf of Marbles, or at least the head is forged by Condor. The price of this axe on Amazon is currently US $35, which makes it affordable and in the budget range for a traditional style axe. Now there needs to be some work done for the axe, and just like the Husqvarna, I knew this would be the case. In general, you have to expect to do some work for budget traditional style axes. After all, you are paying a lower price, so you can expect the fit and finish to not meet your high expectations. But that's why you can customize and modify the axe and really make it your own. Let's have a look at the axe. It comes in this simple cardboard box with the Marbles logo over here. Now I didn't order the axe with a sheath because I've got some other ideas for it, so it just came wrapped up in bubble wrap. And let's have a look at the axe. So the axe itself is 14 inches, that's the handle, and the overall length is 16 inches, so it will qualify as a hatchet. So generally a hatchet would be the length between the tip of your fingers all the way down to the inside of your elbow. Can't really get that on screen, but that would be the size of a hatchet. So it really depends on your own physiology and your own size, but generally this would definitely be a hatchet. So the weight of this axe is 952 grams or 33.5 ounces. So it's not ultra lightweight, it's not super heavy, just under 1 kg. There is definitely some weight to it. So the head is forged steel. It has a convex grind already, as you can see. Let's try to see it this way, but it is not very sharp. So it can't cut through paper. Definitely, I guess you could chop some wood, but at least to the touch and doing the paper cutting test, it doesn't cut that. Now the handle is made from hickory, I believe, and it's nice and solid. Now it is pretty narrow, and many people have commented they find it a little bit too narrow down here. Now I don't have a problem with the size, I guess, of the grip, but maybe this could be a bit more pronounced so that your hand won't slide off the handle when you're using it. The neck is not too wide, definitely thinner than the Husqvarna. That is thicker, so you can get quite a bit of a good choke up. There is a bit of a rough feel on certain parts of the axe handle, but generally it is quite well done. Let's have a look at the eye. So that's quite centered with that metal collar, and the grain is running straight, so no grain runoff, which is good, and grain orientation here also not too bad as well. Alright, so overall, I mean, just by feel or initial impressions without even using it out in the field yet, my initial impressions are it's a decent axe. It is lighter than the Husqvarna. The balance is a bit different as well. The Husqvarna is a bit more top heavy, but I can see this being probably used quite well. But first, I will need to do some work before I bring it to the field to test it out and give my evaluation then after some use. I will have to sharpen up this edge a bit. So I'm going to use a stone and then strop it. And for the handle, I'm going to rub it down. Well, first I'm going to sand it with sandpaper, and then I'm going to rub it down with linseed oil. And let's see how it goes. Here I'm going to take different grits of sandpaper, and I'm going to sand down the handle. Now the idea is not to make it slimmer or change the profile, but just to get the outer surface off so that I can prepare it to soak. So I do both the head as well as the entire shaft. Now I take some boiled linseed oil and a microfiber cloth. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub the oil into the handle. and what I want to do is to rub it in all parts of the handle, the entire shaft, and I do this once a day for a week. And this is the result of the customization and modification of the axe. What I did do was to sharpen this head, so it's much sharper now. Now it's not hair popping sharp. The main reason is I didn't spend that much time on it, but I've got it very sharp, and I know that when I bring this to field test it, it's definitely going to cut the wood that I need. I also sanded the handle and oiled it as you saw. This is the end result. I'm not sure how well it shows on camera, but it's definitely got a nicer grip, I feel, and the color has also darkened just a bit. You probably can see that more over here at the eye. So what I did do was also to soak oil into the wood at the head, into the eye, and I used the technique shared by Wrangler Star in his video, so do check out that video to see how it's done. And the whole idea is for oil to be absorbed into the shaft of this handle from the top, and it expands, so you know the wood in the eye really fits much tighter and the head is more secure. So overall, I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I also have a customized or modified sheath, and this is a very similar sheath to the one I shared in my Husqvarna 13-inch hatchet. So basically, I bought a nylon sheath off AliExpress. This is the thicker one for the 1 1/4 pound head axe, and it only costs about $3 US. Now the thing is, it does not fit the axe, or at least it fits it in terms of the shape, as you can see over here, but it does not ship or fit the thickness of the pole over here. So as you can see, this is where the strap ends, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't even latch onto the Velcro. So I got my canvas maker to make an extension out of nylon strap as well as Velcro. So now that comes across over there, and I've got a secure fit for this nylon sheath. I also reinforced this belt loop, which came with the sheath, but just to make sure it's really sturdy, reinforced, and I put a carabiner just like that. And this is how I can hang or attach this axe to a belt or to a pack. So overall, I'm very pleased with the modifications for this Marbles Camp Axe. Now I'm going to bring it out to the field, give it a field test, and share my thoughts on its performance.
So what's the verdict for the Marbles Camp Axe? Well, compared to, let's say, the Husqvarna 13-inch hatchet, which I've reviewed and modified before, you can check out the link in the card above or the description below. I found this not as good. Now, it is slightly longer, but the head is not as heavy, and it was also not sharpened as well. Now, I did touch it up from the box, but still not sharp enough. As you can see, when I cut through that large piece of log, that was quite green wood, dropped quite recently, so it's still green, and it took quite a while. I took 3 breaks in between because it just took that long to cut through the wood. So that was quite tough. In terms of handling it, I think it's at least for me, I think it's a bit of an odd size. It's a bit too long for a handy sort of a hatchet bushcraft camp axe, but it's too short for, you know, a proper axe if you, I guess, really want to chop something thick. So for example, when I was trying to split the wood, I actually cut the wood short, and I used a silky saw for that. I didn't use an axe, but it's a bit too short, so I couldn't get the wood, the length of the wood all the way to the end of the handle over here, which I would typically do. So I had to kind of improvise and kind of batten the axe head into the wood and then split it that way. Now, because it's longer, I thought that if I were to hold it at the end and I were to give swings, it would generate more force. Now, it should have. I think technically it did, but when it comes to, I guess, more fine work where you have to choke up harder, then your balance point gets a bit off. Maybe I'm not used to it yet, so I don't think it's completely fair to say that this is a bad hatchet or axe in any way. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Just compared to the Husqvarna 13, which I've been using, I just find that the balance for this, for me at least, is a bit off. But a lot of times it's a matter of getting used to your tool. Overall, I think in terms of the ergos, it is fine. Now, this handle is on the slim side, as I mentioned before, but that gives you a good grip. And so if you wear gloves as well, you can get a good grip on the handle, and you can use it two-handed, as you saw as well. And with the way I have the sheath set up with that carabiner, and it goes onto my belt, very easy for me to go around base camp with the hatchet on my side, taking it out, using it and putting it back so it's safe. I'm not carrying it exposed. So I think that's good for axe safety and just a great way to carry a hatchet on the belt. Well, that's what I think about this Marbles camp axe. Now, do you own this axe? What do you think of it compared to other axes that you might have? Please leave your comments below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like the content in general, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.